Hello and welcome to a game pickup video. This is for the months of December and December 2021 and January 2022. So what we have, and we got a stack to go through, is Super Battleship for my Sega Genesis. Which I'm really looking forward to. Let's get that. I love being able to peel. These people that we buy, that I pick these up from, their labels are easy to come off, and I'm very grateful. And they leave no residue or stuff, and they try to put it on a spot where it's not going to ruin the cartridge. Because this has actually got a really nice label. It's a really relatively clean cartridge. I don't have a lot of in-box and the clamshell case games for my Sega Genesis, but that's okay. I don't really have room to store them. I got to build more shelves because my collection is huge, especially my NES, and that one is the biggest because the cartridges are so big. So next up we have. What do we have here? I can't read the label. Mystic Defender. Mystic Defender. This one we got at another game store, and this is one where, as you can see, you can't get the labels off. They put it on the back at least so I can use some cleaner to get it off, but their label's just not good. Not good. But that's okay. We're all right with it. Mystic Defender. Next up for the Game Boy is F-15 Strike Eagle. You've seen me play F-15 Strike Eagle on the Atari 8-bit home computer and on the Nintendo Entertainment System. So when I saw this, I was like, I need to pick this up. This is going to be a great game for the collection. And this is one of the highest priced games I've bought for my Game Boy in a long time. This was actually $13 compared to other games. And I really wanted it, and I didn't check to see if that was a good price or not, but it's going to tell you right there, right now, whether it was a good price or not. So we'll put that one down there. Next up for the Atari 2600 is Gangster Alley, which is by Spectre Video for the Atari 2600. It's like a shooting Hogan's Alley type game for the Atari 2600, except you use a controller to move around, and I'm going to stick it that way because the label would be upside down otherwise. And next up is Dodge 'em for the Atari 2600. Now this one unfortunately is a duplicate, which is a bummer. Because I wasn't sure I had it or not, and the wife was out shopping and picked it up, and it was a duplicate. It is a duplicate, but that's okay. I'll keep it. Next up is Human Cannonball for the Atari 2600. This is actually one of my favorite games on the Atari, because when you launch, what you do is you're a human cannonball. You climb into a cannon, you shoot the little guy out of the cannon, and you're trying to land him in the bucket of water. And if you make a mistake, he can go over it, crash land on the ground and twitch, and he gets all mangled and twitches, or he slams into the side of the container, slides down to the ground, and twitches. And it's a funny game, but it's a lot of fun. I actually have tried to make a ragdoll remake of this for the web and for desktop systems such as Mac, PC, and Linux. And I really should get back to doing it. It was a lot of fun. And last up, we have, let me peel that price off of the front there because it comes off really easy with those stickers, except for the previous one, is Gotcha for the NES. I'll put that one back. Gotcha for the NES, which I believe is a light gun game only. But one day I might have a tube TV in my collection so that I can play all these old shooting games on the NES that we have. If not, that's okay. It's in my collection and I can always emulate it and use a controller to move the crosshair around. So there is my pickups for December and January. I know we are in the middle of January. I don't expect to be picking up any more, but you never know. And if I do, well, they'll come in the next pickup video. So, thank you for watching. If you played any of these games, let me know what you think of them down in the comments below. I'm really looking forward to F-15 Strike Eagle and trying out the Gangster Alley here because I got something really neat for Christmas and I'll be right back to show that to you. I got a Retron 77 in this cool futuristic translucent color that reminds me of the Nintendo 64 when they did that. I don't have any of those, but I really like to have one. But this plays Atari 2600 games, and it is HDMI out. So what this system does is it has an emulator inside of it called Stella, which is free to download on your PC. And when you plug a cartridge into this, it turns that cartridge into a ROM that is emulated. So there's no, if you remember when I play on the regular Atari system, there's lots of flicker. With this, most of that is gone. The picture is crystal clear and smooth. And I'm playing Atari games in my living room on my big 65-inch TV. And it is a lot of fun. And what's really a blast was I was playing golf on the Atari 2600 and it was just awesome. The graphics are clear, it's crisp, this is great. It has a micro SD slot here, so you can put ROMs onto the micro SD card and play them as well on the system. It has a aspect ratio where it will change it from to a 16:9 to a 4:3. I've been playing 16:9. It's stretched, but it actually still looks really, really good. It came with this really neat matching controller. I love the paint, the sticker that's on here. I'm probably going to wear that out over time. But I already have one of these joysticks in my collection in there. That's really kind of clicky. You've probably seen me play it using. This one is not. This one's actually really, really nice to play with. My only downside is they made it for lefties and righties, and sometimes when you're playing, you will hit that joystick with my pinky. So I have to be cautious and careful of that. But other than that, this was a great Christmas present from my wife, and I completely and utterly love this thing. So I'm probably going to start streaming using this as opposed to my original Atari hardware, and that's for two reasons. One, this does produce crystal clear images, and I think that's better. One, for gameplay, and secondly, it's really good for streaming so that you can see the true picture quality of the games, the true colors that you can get with some of those games And the old hardware somewhat mutes them. They're kind of muted in colors. And this fixes that. And I don't have to do any mods to my old Atari systems to get them to HDMI quality. I have this, so I can keep them as they are. Also, those machines are over, some of them are over 40 years old. So I'd like to keep them around in working order as long as possible and keep them safe by not using them. And that sounds odd, but I do have them in my collection. I love my Atari systems. But this gives me more functionality and a lot more fun where I can put cartridges in. I know I have streamed where I've used my Atari Flashback with ROMs in it, and I've played ROM games and they look really great and everything. But this allows me to play my actual cartridge-based games. You just lock it in and you're ready to go. And it's really, really nice. And I have to go through the manual. I believe there's a way to, when you plug these in, you can save them as ROMs, which is nice. Just like on the Atari Flashback games I have, this one you can rewind and you can also do save states, so this is nice. That's what all these buttons in the front are. This is just a really cool looking system, and it is a ton of fun. And I really dig the matching controller. This is neat. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing if you're a subscriber. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. I try to do these videos monthly. It all depends on how many games I get. If I only get one or two, sometimes I don't feel that's worth it, so I save up until I have a lot of games to make this video worthwhile. And if you stayed through, you got to see a review of the Retron 77. I plan on doing a deeper dive into this video where I actually show it in use and all the functionality, so that we can do a better review. But I wanted to show this as part of my pickup video because this is, I didn't pick it up, it was a gift, but it's awesome. It's by Hyperkin and it's quality. This is actually pretty solid stuff compared to my previous Hyperkin. I know I'm extending this video out longer, but I previously had a Hyperkin Retron 3, which played Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. It also played Famicom and Super Famicom games. The problem with that is, actually I think I only played Super Famicom games. I don't recall now, because the controllers it came with were garbage. This is solid. This is, man, I would love to have these controllers back in the day. This is well built, solid construction, and it comes with an extremely long cord, which makes it really convenient for playing from your couch to your TV. This, on the other hand, my Retron, when I started streaming, I was using my Retron 3 for all my gameplay for NES, Super Nintendo, and Genesis games, even though I had the consoles. The problem is the connectors inside of it just broke when I pulled an Atari cartridge out, and the pins inside just came flying out. And the same with the Super Nintendo. So I had metal pieces all inside, and I couldn't use it anymore because the NES was gone, the Super Nintendo was gone. The only thing that worked was the Genesis, but there were all these little loose pieces of metal in there, and I was afraid it was going to short out, so I got rid of it, which was disappointing. It worked really well. The controllers it came with were garbage. It did feel cheap. like you were going to break it because it was so tight putting cartridges in, and pulling them out was, I mean, it was bad. This, on the other hand, they clearly improved their quality, because this is a much nicer plastic, and the cartridges come in and out so easy. Oh yeah, okay, that one. They just, so much easier than the old system, and it works really well. So I'm very happy with this, if you can't tell. So once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you're a subscriber, once again, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Be seeing you.